Whittaker was talking about Adesanya, and he was referring back to Adesanya's fight with Vettori. So Whittaker said, look, it was very average. And I don't mean average in a negative way. I just mean he's not doing something and offering skills that we haven't seen before. I think that's fair. Of course, that pissed Adesanya off. Adesanya fires right back and says, well, if I'm just average, then what does that make you? Also fair. But timeout. But before you think Whittaker's talking trash, time out just a second and understand. He's getting ready to do something that's very hard, that logic would say he's not going to succeed at. But he's still expected to win. He still expects himself to win. I'm talking about Whittaker here. So he's putting himself in a frame of mind. He's putting himself and he's running his mouth when the camera's going, talking, but he's also internalizing. This is important. This is an important step. And it's a very positive step that Whittaker has reached this place to start to break down his opponent, break down a former opponent who, by the way, beat him, but start to make things small. Start to make things real small, right? There's a lot of steps in doing that. I imagine if Whittaker was here right now, he would probably refer to Adesanya as either the champ. You'd have to correct, hey, don't call him the champ anymore. And he would then start referring to him as Adesanya. And you have to keep on talking to him until he gets to the place when he calls him Izzy. It's a great way mentally to start breaking your opponent down. You don't need to show them these respectful terms. You don't need to start holding them any higher up than they already are. If you're going to take what they have, if you're their equal and you're going to be across from them, start with his name is Izzy. It's one of these things, and it might seem small, but this is something very good coming from Whittaker, who, by the way, Whittaker versus Adesanya is the same discussion as we had when it was going to be Adesanya versus Vettori, which is quite simply who has gotten better. Who has gotten better? And Vettori and Adesanya were so close and so competitive in that first fight that if you could establish who got better, you were probably going to have the winner. The difference in Whittaker and Adesanya is it was a very uncompetitive fight. It was surprisingly uncompetitive. It was right in Whittaker's wheelhouse, right here standing up where he did his finest work. And just turned out Adesanya was a little bit quicker. Adesanya could get to the target a little bit better. But when you are having the discussion of who has gotten better, I think that Whittaker's performance against Gastelum is really what is most compelling for the fans to see, because don't forget, Whittaker brought a new weapon out, which was the takedown. And don't forget, he shot 4 of them. He succeeded at getting 3. That's a lot of takedowns. In terms of an accuracy ratio, 3 out of 4? What would have happened if he fired 7 or 9 shots? I mean, just how good is Whittaker about bringing opponents to the ground? And moreover, he was able to hold Kelvin there. Kelvin was surprised. Kelvin was caught off guard. The first takedown, when he got held there, Kelvin worked his way up. And the second and third takedown became harder and harder to get because now Kelvin is prepared and knows, man, this guy might offer a takedown, something he's never done to anybody else. No reason Kelvin should have gone into that and think Robert Whittaker is going to hit a double A. We've never seen him do it. But it is one of these situations where Whittaker possesses the skills to make this a different match. That's the exact recipe that I'm spelling out for you. That's exactly what Blachowicz did. Not just he took Adesanya down, he offered a takedown when he didn't even offer a takedown on any of his prior opponents. So it had the element of surprise. I just bring it to you because I was reading some comments. That's really what got me here. I was reading some comments on Robert Whittaker saying that Adesanya looked average. This is okay. That's a very positive place. Whittaker start to hone in. He's got to start to zone in. He's got to start to accept what's in front of him, which is a hard fight against a former opponent who in that first fight, it didn't go very well. There's many steps Whittaker's going to need to defeat Adesanya. I'm just reminding you and sharing for you, step 1, you can check that one off.